to the Eastern Cape now, and an emotional memorial service for 2 of the 21 youngsters who died at eNyobeni tavern in East London was held today. Tomorrow, a mass funeral service will be held for the victims of the tragedy. President Cyril Ramaphosa expected to attend that. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila has been on the story. He joins us now. Aviwe, thank you very much. So, 2 of the youngsters, there was a special service held for them. I would imagine that we're going to see a number of these smaller services in the coming days. Talk to us about what you learned about these 2 teens and what people said about them.
Sally, in all my years as a journalist, I've never seen such devastation. The community of Nompumelelo is reeling from the pain of losing their 2 daughters in their community hall, Sally. And as it was full, some of the people standing, there wasn't a dry eye in sight. I remember even catching up with the family of Esina Kosanagana, who says that they are still seeking answers to what led to the death of their daughters. So the memorial service held today was held by the Sikikamba Senior Secondary, where these 2 teenagers went to. There were matric learners there, and they were described as being the jovial people, very smart people, always were full of life and lively, as some of their friends were sharing. But it was really a somber mood, Sally, as these 2 teenagers were remembered. You remember that the majority of the teenagers that passed away at eNyobeni just over a week ago are not residing in Scenery Park. As we do understand, it's only just about 6 that reside in Scenery Park. So this was one of those memorial services that were held outside Scenery Park, given that these 2 resided in Nompumelelo, which is also around East London. Let's take a listen to what their friends had to say in remembering the 2 students, learners.
Yeah, it's grueling indeed. And Aviwe, tomorrow when this mass funeral is held, I can't even begin to imagine how devastatingly difficult tomorrow is going to be for family, friends and the community at large. I know today you've spoken to Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane. Has he said anything more about the cause of the death of these youngsters? You have told us that it's been fairly certain that it was chemical poisoning, but not clear what substance, in fact, they were poisoned with. Did you get any more details today?
Sally, I caught up with Premier Oscar Mabuyane as he was just leaving a meeting with the top brass of the South African Police Service happening at the Cambridge Police station there. He did indicate that they are in the know-how. They do have some sort of clearance as to exactly what happened, but he doesn't want to divulge as yet, as we do understand that could be possibly divulged in the funeral itself. Even Police Minister, in a clip that I got from one of the police communication heads in the Eastern Cape, suggesting that even though the toxicology report itself might take months to pinpoint exactly what led to these deaths, they will somehow give some sort of feedback to, we understand, the families. As we do understand, Sally, over the last week and a bit, the families are still in the dark as to exactly what led to the deaths of the 21 teenagers. But we caught up with the Premier Oscar Mabuyane, and this is what he had to say just around what led to these deaths.
Police are working on that. I got a briefing. At this stage, we think that we can't do piecemeal briefings around this issue. It's a very sensitive matter. We're still waiting for forensic reports. It's being worked through our laboratories. So we're waiting for that. We don't want to speak on this piecemeal information that is coming and start making speculations. So let's leave it there. up until all the actually investigations are done and reports are back. Then at that point, the nation will be told what exactly has happened. Police are working on that flat out around the clock.
All right, well, let's hope we get answers soon, particularly for the grieving families who want to know what happened to their children at eNyobeni Tavern. Thank you very much for that update. That is our senior reporter, Aviwe Mtila in the Eastern Cape.